Hello everyone, Allison Steinberg here with Lindell TV. We're with Senator Ron Johnson, who's doing fantastic work on exposing the lies behind the COVID shot, as you call it, because it's not actually a vaccine. Talk to us about what you covered today in the hearing.
Yeah, well, I call it injection.
Injection,
because it's not a vaccine.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is. It's a platform that turns your body into every cell in your body into a manufacturing site of the spike protein, which is the most toxic part of the coronavirus. Gee, what could go wrong?
Yeah.
So what we revealed today was the fact that we uncovered in the documents provided us by Bobby Kennedy's Radical Transparency, the fact that Peter Marks, who's head of CBER, was told on March 1st of 2021 that the mathematical algorithm they were using to analyze the VAERS data was going to hide safety signals. He was told this. And then 26 days later, they used an updated algorithm that unmasked those, told there were 49 cases of severe masking, 25 safety signals of serious adverse events. I mean, sudden cardiac death, pulmonary infarction. I listed about 10 of the 25.
Yeah.
And rather than pit a medal on Dr. Anna Sharfsman, on her suit coat, they shunned her aside. They told her to cease and desist. They didn't want to see it. They continued to use the old system, knowing it was masking. Again, as I said, you don't need a sophisticated mathematical model to take a look at what was happening in 2021 as deaths and adverse events exploded. Even on a adverse event or a death per million dose basis, it was 55 times worse than adverse events on deaths on flu vaccines. Yeah. So again, you didn't need a sophisticated model to show you that, and yet they hid behind that sophisticated mathematical model and continued to claim, as we showed Peter Marks talking to the vaccine and the injection injured, till December 22nd, we're just not seeing a safety signal, even though they were treating those very same individuals, promising them that they would make it public, make the studies public, so the other vaccine injured, injection injured would be treated. Mm-hmm. They never admitted it. They never released that study. They never helped anybody other than those original people they treated at the NIH. And again, they were successfully treating them, not total cures, but it was helping them.
Yeah. I mean, it's absolutely infuriating and truly criminal, I think. Why do you think this was covered up? I mean, what's your best guess?
I said at the tail end of the hearings, if you're there and you've approved these things, you want to be responsible for approving a drug that's killing people. Right. When you push them on the public, when you did videos, say, get that jab, and then later on find out, what I was recommending to people, what I was pushing on people, killed them or permanently disabled them. Mm-hmm. Nobody wants to admit that. Doctors don't want to admit that. Federal health officials don't want to admit that. Media figures don't want to admit that. Yeah. Members of Congress don't want to admit that. So we are in a massive state of denial here. And it's hard to bust through because nobody wants to admit they're wrong here.
Yeah, it's amazing to hear so many stories and stories of vaccine-injured people who are just, their stories are swept under the rug and covered up, and no one wants to talk about it anymore because it's old news. But there has to be accountability. Are we ever going to see full accountability? We know that there was just a criminal referral for a top Fauci advisor. I mean, I think Fauci's next in line here. What do you think?
Well, unfortunately, Joe Biden pardoned him.
Yeah.
So legally, he's out of the woods. But no,
really?
We need to expose what he did.
Yeah.
Bobby Kennedy did a great job, and the real Anthony Fauci really showing what an awful human being Fauci is.
Yeah.
We need to continue that exposure. But no, we've got similar statements to Dr. David Morin's in our report of other CDC officials saying, let's talk about this offline. I mean, paraphrasing, or let's not put these things in an email. Yeah. So they stopped providing their analysis between FDA and CDC because there were FOIA requests. One of those was from me. So, no, we've got a real problem inside these agencies. They understand FOIA. They know when they're kind of skirting, when they're doing something, contrary to the public good. Yeah. So they hide it. So, we are very fortunate that Bobby Kennedy they had to force him to give us these documents, and that enough of them exist to at least start painting the picture.
Do you think perhaps, an essential next step would be to invalidate the auto pen pardon for Fauci so that he can be prosecuted?
Well, I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know what kind of legal maneuvering, but accountability starts with exposure.
Yeah.
That's the first thing. Again, Fauci wants a legacy of the guy who ended the pandemic. That should not be his legacy.
Yeah. And then you said your next hearing is going to likely include victims of the COVID injection, vaccine-injured people.
Well, yeah, I mean, kind of late breaking is where I found out we had these, recordings of their Zoom meetings with Peter Marks, and so we had this treasure trove, and we just had a fraction of them. Yeah. Well, the number of times he was saying, "Oh, we don't see a safety signal." I mean, think of that. He knew full well. Yeah. He is talking to people that are severely. I mean, you have to read Dree Bresson's book, Worth a Shot. I mean, you hear the agony she went through for years. Mm-hmm. She looks pretty in that video, but I mean, she had agonizing disabilities. Read it. Peter Marks knew that, and he was just sitting there, bold-faced, lying to him, going, "Oh, we're not seeing a signal. Oh, we're going to publish a study. We're going to let the American public know, but just don't say anything about it now." It's really sick and craven.
It is very sick. Well, we're so grateful for all the work that you continue to do to expose the tyranny and the corruption. Thank you so much, Senator. We appreciate you.